The city holds its breath as one man walks toward his fate, and every step sounds like a drum. The crowd cheers, the leaders watch, and his friends feel the ground shake under their faith. The trailer does not show an ending. It shows a beginning. That feels like the last sunrise before a storm, before the new season opens its door. We need to stand where Season 5 left us and look back at the path that brought us here. Jesus had turned quiet moments into turning points. A meal became lesson, a touch became a healing. A word became a revolution inside the hearts of fishermen and tax collectors, who now called him teacher. But peace did not follow them. Whispers grew in the halls of power. The Romans counted heads and weighed threats. The religious leaders weighed the risk of letting him speak one more day. The disciples tried to hold on to hope even when the road narrowed and the sky darkened with signs they did not want to name. We saw Judas lean toward shadows and secrets while telling himself it was for a greater good. We saw Peter burn with love and pride that would soon be tested by fear. We saw Mary carry both joy and pain in her eyes, like a mother who knows the cost of love better than anyone. Season 5 ended with a weight in the air, like the pause before a hammer falls. Now the trailer for Season 6, Episode 1 picks up that weight and places it in our hands. The city of Jerusalem rises like a wall of stone and rumor. Palm branches and sharp looks share the same streets. We hear the steps of soldiers who do not know the name they are about to record in their reports. We see tables turned long ago, still shaking in the memory of those who lost face in front of a crowd. We feel the disciples move in a tight circle around Jesus, trying to shield him while not fully understanding that he is the one shielding them. This is the ground we stand on as the first images flash by. The story does not reset. It tightens. Old choices now bloom into results. Small fears now roar. Quiet doubts now speak with a loud voice inside each heart. The recap is not a list of scenes. It is the ache of a journey that is always pointed to this narrow gate. The trailer tells us that the gate is opening and that every character we love will have to walk through it. One by one, with the world watching and time holding its breath, the trailer does not waste a single heartbeat. It opens like a blade cutting through silence. The screen shows the streets of Jerusalem, and everything feels heavier than before. The same stones that once echoed with laughter now carry a different sound, the sound of destiny drawing near. People press close, their voices rising, some shouting with joy and others with suspicion. The energy is raw. It is not the celebration of a city welcoming a king. It is the storm of a city bracing for change, a change no one can control. In those first moments, the camera lingers on faces. Each face carries a story, and each story is about to collide with what Jesus is walking toward. The trailer then shifts, giving us glimpses of Jesus with his disciples. Their eyes tell us more than words. They know something is different. Usual warmth between them now mixes with an unspoken fear. The Last Supper looms in the shadows of these images. Not yet shown fully, but hinted at in candles, bread, and the weight of silence around the table. The camera does not rush. It makes us sit inside that silence, a silence so full it feels louder than the cheers outside. It is in this silence that the disciples wrestle with questions they are too afraid to ask. We also catch a fleeting shot of Judas. And in that single image, the whole tragedy is wrapped. His face shows both love and conflict, both loyalty and betrayal. The trailer dares us to look into his eyes, to search for the moment where choice turns into doom. Is he already gone in spirit, even while sitting close to the one he will betray? That image alone holds the weight of the season. The audience knows what is coming, yet the way the trailer frames him makes us hold our breath. Then comes the contrast. Roman soldiers tightening their grip on their weapons. The leaders of the temple speaking in hushed tones, their expressions drawn in anger and fear. The tension grows with every cut, every shadow, every glimpse of torches that will soon search. The night, the trailer does not tell us everything. It whispers, it suggests. It leaves spaces open for our imagination to fill with dread by the time these opening glimpses end. The trailer has already accomplished its task. It has taken us by the hand and led us into a city that feels alive with both love and danger. It does not ask if we are ready. It tells us we must be ready, because Jesus is walking into his last day, and nothing will ever be the same again. The trailer slows, almost like it knows every frame will carry the weight of history. The first scene burns into memory. Jesus stepping through the gates of Jerusalem. The crowd stretches in both directions, some throwing branches, some throwing looks sharp enough to cut. Children smile as if they are welcoming hope, while elders whisper as if they are welcoming trouble. The camera lingers on Jesus' calm face, a calmness that feels otherworldly against the storm around him. That contrast sets the tone. It is not triumph, it is a farewell hidden inside a parade. The cut shifts, and suddenly we are at a table. The flicker of candlelight reveals bread in his hands. He breaks it slowly, his eyes lifting toward the faces around him. Every disciple is frozen. Between devotion and fear, their expressions feel like fragile glass about to shatter. A single look from Jesus carries more weight than any line of dialogue. The audience does not need to hear the words to feel the moment. The Last Supper has begun, and every movement whispers of endings. A darker image follows. Judas in shadow. His hand brushes across silver. His eyes glance away, not toward his teacher, but toward the door. In that flicker of hesitation, the trailer captures an entire prophecy. It is the moment every viewer has dreaded yet expected, the quiet step into betrayal. The editing makes it harsher by cutting to Peter's determined face. He leans forward, full of passion, ready to defend his master at any cost. And yet, the audience knows the cost will be denial before the dawn. The trailer sets their destinies side by side, betrayal and denial, shadow and fire, both inevitable. Then the soldiers appear. Torches flare against the night. Armor rattles like thunder. You see a glimpse of Roman discipline, their lines tight, their faces cold, their mission clear. They march not toward battlefields, but toward one man who refuses to fight back. Their presence darkens the entire frame, swallowing the glow of candlelight from the supper before it. It is a clash between silence and steel, and another fleeting. Seenie Mary's face fills the screen. Her tears are quiet, but they speak louder than the cheers of the crowd or the chants of the soldiers. Her eyes carry the weight of a mother who sees what no one else can bear to admit. She knows the ending is near. The trailer places her image like a mirror to the story, reminding us that every great act of sacrifice leaves behind a trail of broken hearts. By the final seconds of this breakdown, the trailer has shifted from city streets to supper table to shadows and soldiers. It is not just a collection of scenes. It is a heartbeat turning slower, heavier, and more painful with each beat. Every frame whispers the same truth. The story is reaching the night that will change the world forever. The trailer does not simply show events. It breathes themes into every corner of its imagery. The strongest of these is betrayal. Judas is not painted as a villain in black and white. He is painted as a man torn in two, his eyes carrying both devotion and doubt. That duality makes betrayal heavier than a simple act of greed. It becomes a tragedy of trust breaking under the weight of fear. Every time his figure appears, the trailer reminds us that the deepest wounds are not struck by swords, but by the hands once trusted most. Then comes faith, the kind that trembles. The disciples sit close to their teacher, but their hearts are restless. Their faith is real, but it shakes under the shadow of what lies ahead. Peter's boldness shines, but it is the kind of fire that burns quick and then dims. This fragility of faith becomes a theme. He tells us that loyalty is not tested in words shouted during daylight, but in whispers spoken during the darkest night. Another theme rises quietly: sacrifice. The trailer frames Jesus not as a warrior leading an army, but as a man stepping forward with open hands. Every image of him carries calm resolve, a peace that unsettles everyone around him. This theme is not told through speeches. It is told through silence. His silence when crowds shout, his calm when soldiers march, stillness when betrayal waits only steps away. Sacrifice becomes the heartbeat under every scene. Fear also weaves itself through the images. It is in the eyes of the disciples, in the clenched jaws of soldiers, in the hurried whispers of leaders who want control slipping away. Fear saturates the air, yet the trailer shows how fear and love can stand side by side. Mary's tears are soaked in fear, but they are born from love. Disciples' doubts rise from fear, but their feet do not leave their teacher's side. This theme of love and fear walking together deepens the emotion of the trailer. They are felt. The trailer is not an announcement of a new season. It is a weight pressing on the chest, reminding us that what is about to unfold is more than story. It is the kind of drama that does not end when the screen fades, because it is written into the soul of every viewer who dares to watch. The moment the trailer dropped, it did more than tease scenes. It opened a door to endless questions. Fans have begun to ask whether Episode 1 will carry us through the entire Last Supper or leave us standing at the edge. Just before the soldiers arrive in the garden, editing is sharp but deliberate, and it withholds enough to make speculation grow wild. Some believe the first episode will slow the story, stretching every glance and every word around the table into an hour of quiet intensity. Others believe the episode will rush us forward, cutting off just as the torches rise in the night, leaving us gasping for the next part. One of the loudest questions is about Judas. How deep into his betrayal will Episode 1 go? The trailer shows his shadow, his hesitation, but not the moment of silver in his hand. Will Episode 1 reveal his secret dealings, or will it leave his betrayal as a ghost hanging over the table, visible to us but hidden from the others? Fans have split into two camps: those who want the story to dive fully into his choice early, and those who want the tension stretched until it nearly breaks. Both sides agree on one thing: Judas is the storm center of this season, and Episode 1 must show the first crack of lightning. Peter also draws heavy speculation. His eyes in the trailer burn with conviction, but every fan knows that conviction will falter before dawn. The question is, will Episode 1 begin the slow unraveling of his loyalty, or will it keep his fire burning bright until the arrest forces his denial? Many predict the trailer hints at subtle foreshadowing, small cracks in his boldness that only become clear when replayed after the episode airs. And then there's Mary. Her tears in the trailer sparked waves of conversation. Was that moment taken from the supper, or does it belong to a later scene outside the walls, when the crowd turns hostile? Fans wonder if Episode 1 will give her a larger voice, showing the story through her eyes in a way the series has not yet done. Her silence in the trailer has only fueled louder speculation. Online reactions have poured out an equal measure of excitement and dread. Comment sections are filled with viewers admitting they are not ready, yet desperate to see it unfold. Some call this the most emotional trailer the series has ever released. Others say it feels like watching history move closer, step by step, to a moment that still shakes the world 2,000 years later. The fanbase is not only waiting for Episode 1, they are bracing for it. Like standing at the edge of a wave that is about to crash, the final note of the trailer feels less like a closing and more like a heartbeat fading into silence. No explosions, no loud declarations, just faces, glances, and the weight of unspoken truth. And in that silence, the audience is left holding a question. How do you prepare to watch a story you already know will break you? That is the power of this first episode. Does not aim to surprise with what happens. It aims to pierce with how it happens. As the screen fades, you are left with an ache that feels both holy and haunting. The beginning of Season 6 is not just another chapter in a series. It is the opening step into the final path, the last day of Jesus' life on earth. The trailer forces us to look at loyalty, at betrayal, at faith trembling on its last thread, and at a love strong enough to face the grave. It is less like watching television and more like being asked to sit at the table yourself, to hear the words, to feel the bread in your hands, and to know that night is falling. And this is where the engagement begins. The story no longer belongs only to the screen. It belongs to the viewers who carry its weight after the trailer ends. Which image struck you the hardest? Is it Judas fading into shadow, or Mary's quiet tears? Is it the calm resolve in Jesus' eyes, or the fiery determination on Peter's face? Every viewer will see themselves in one of these moments, and that is what makes this trailer so powerful. So let this be the call. Share your voice. What part of the trailer made your heart stop? What moment told you that this season will not just tell a story, but change the way we see sacrifice and love? Comment your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes below. Because this is not just a season we will watch alone. This is a journey we take together, step by step, into the last day of a life that changed the world forever. The trailer ends. But the silence it leaves behind feels louder than any sound. What we have glimpsed is not a story of heroes and villains, but of fragile people standing at the edge of history. The disciples, full of fire yet trembling with fear. The leaders desperate to keep their grip on power. The Romans, blind to the weight of the man they are about to seize. And in the center, Jesus calm as a still river while the storm rages all around. This is the last day, and every frame reminds us that it is not just his story, it is ours. The brilliance of Season 6, Episode 1's trailer lies in its restraint. It does not give away the whole journey, simply places us at the threshold of a night that the world has never forgotten. It hints at betrayal but does not show the silver, shows bread breaking but leaves the full supper hidden in shadow. It shows soldiers in the distance but does not yet draw the sword. That restraint is what makes the weight so heavy. It leaves us leaning forward, waiting, bracing, it's almost afraid to see what comes next. This is not just the beginning of another season. It is the unfolding of the greatest turning point in human history, told with intimacy and courage. The trailer makes us realize that we are not only watching characters, we are standing in their place. Who are we when the night falls? Are we the bold voice that breaks under pressure? The betrayer who convinces himself he is right? Silent one who watches with tears? Or the one who carries a love so strong it does not need to defend itself? These questions linger long after the screen goes dark, and so the final note is not about plot, it is about the soul. Episode 1 will not only launch a season, it will invite us into the last day of a man who changed everything with a choice to walk forward when others would have turned back. The trailer leaves us with a single truth carved deep. The story we know is coming still has the power to break us, to heal us, and to remind us why it was told in the first place.